This message comes from Stars with Amadeus. Starring Will Sharp and Paul Bettany comes the new Stars original series, Amadeus. Experience a tale of genius, jealousy, and rivalry. Amadeus. Series premieres May 8th, only on Stars and the Stars app.
Tonight is fashion's biggest night, the Met Gala. The Costume Institute's Spring 2026 exhibition is costume art, and the gala's dress code is, quote, fashion is art, inviting guests to express their own relationship to fashion as an embodied art form and celebrate the countless depictions of the dressed body throughout art history, end quote. But the sponsor of this year's gala has a lot of people raising eyebrows and picket signs. Jeff Bezos and his wife, Lauren Sanchez Bezos, are the lead sponsors and honorary chairs of this year's Met Gala. Now, they aren't the first or the last billionaires that have attended a Met Gala, but with concerns about Amazon's labor practices, including the dismissal of immigrants working legally in their warehouses, and the widening gap between the haves and the have-nots, people aren't too happy about their participation in such a large cultural event. But who, if not the Rockefellers and Carnegies of our modern time, can fund the arts? And what does that mean for our culture at large? To answer that question, I'm joined by culture writer Shelton Boyd-Griffith.
Thank you for having me.
And Marjon Carlos, cultural critic and podcast host.
Thank you.
To get into how fashion's biggest night has become a boilerplate for issues surrounding power, influence, and body politics. Hello, hello. I'm Brittany Luce, and you're listening to It's Been a Minute from NPR, a show about what's going on in culture and why it doesn't happen by accident. Let's talk a little bit about some of the forces and factors at play in this year's Met Gala, and why I think that even for people who are not interested in fashion and don't follow it, I think maybe should be paying attention to this year's Met Gala. Joining Beyonce as honorary chairs for this year's Met Gala event are Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos, who are the primary funders of the evening. They've been making moves into the fashion world for the past couple years, but they're also known associates of President Donald Trump. I wonder, what do you think Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's prominent participation signals about the fashion industry and perhaps even its political alignment or leanings?
I think it is naturally a cause for concern. But when you think about like the history of like arts, rich benefactors have been putting themselves adjacent to taste for centuries. Like the Medici family, like it's a tale as old as time. So it's something that's always happened. I think we're just like heightened because of like we're currently living in it.
Absolutely. Like buying taste, buying relevancy. And Elon Musk famously went to the Met Gala with Grimes years ago. So it's not like it hasn't seen billionaires dominating the red carpet. I do think, though, like their inclusion this year does dim the brand. I think it gives away the illusion of luxury. And I think that that's like its prime goal. And I think also it's kind of a death rattle for Vogue's relevancy with such a person that prominently having some type of influence on fashion's biggest night, despite them not being fashion plates or icons themselves. So that kind of seems to suggest that there might be a price on the industry.
I think it's also interesting that like they were clear to put their names and not like Amazon fashion. I thought that was really interesting. I was like, oh, they want you to know.
Do you think that the Bezos-Sanchez's desire to be legitimized in the fashion world could be about more than just their image?
I think so. I mean, they have Amazon Fashion, which is a designer luxury experience, but it has been very slow to be picked up and to be taken seriously by the fashion industry at large. There have been a few designers who have collaborations on there. So this could be their second attempt at trying to, resuscitate life into that stream and that brand.
Well, that's interesting too, because I think about like the ways in which eBay has like made a presence for themselves at the Met Gala. Now, I want to say they dressed Ice Spice one year. I did not love the outfit they put Ice Spice in. However, eBay actually has done a really good job of like riding the vintage, riding the secondhand wave, and aligning themselves with luxury. Even they just bought another, they bought a Depop, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And so like they have actually kind of really refocused themselves as a fashion brand. And that was, not necessarily a small feat, but it ended up really working for them, I think, really well. But to your point, a lot of people are confused by the presence of the Amazon co-founder and his wife. Some people are organizing a boycott of the event.
Yes.
I could also, though, foresee some cringeworthy protest dressing at the event, a la Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's 2020 Met Gala dress. Beautifully done. Mm-hmm. It looked nice on her. Obviously, it was well made. She wore a white gown from Brother Velli's with "Tax the Rich" emblazoned on the back of the gown in red. But with her attending the event and wearing the expensive dress, just the optic, it wasn't well received by her critics or her supporters. I wonder, do you think we might see other forms of protest this year? I mean, obviously there's going to be some people boycotting, but we won't see them there. Do you think there will be any forms of protest at the event?
I would love to see that, but I'm also just like you said, getting dressed, coming to the event that you were invited to, do really people have the gumption to bring that to their faces? I don't know. Especially these people that are invited. They kind of have to play nice, the industry,
Maybe Jeremy O'Hara. Did he tell that billionaire off?
Yes, he did. Jeremy O'Hara accused OpenAI CEO Sam Altman of being, quote, the Goebbels of the Trump administration, end quote. Goebbels, of course, being a high-ranking Nazi leader.
Yeah, maybe he's the one to bring the energy that night.
Actually, when they called him up the next day and they were like, did you say this to his face? And he said, I was drunk last night. And actually, I would have said something that's even more pointed. So that's a very good point. There could be some people who are known provocateurs who may shake something a little bit. Well, for what it's worth, New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani declined attendance, citing his focus on making the most expensive city in the United States affordable. And I have to say, Mayor Mamdani is known for staying on message about affordability. Mm-hmm. You could ask him, is it raining today? He could say, well, I'm concerned about whether or not New Yorkers can afford an umbrella. That's the answer. He said.
I think it's important that he took that stance, though, at Mamdani. I think in this socio-political climate, when we are in the midst of an ongoing war, an energy crisis, there's just so much at stake politically right now. So for a politician to take a stand and say, I'm actually going to boycott this, which is, while we love it, it's a night of fashion and glamour and beauty and all the things, it is kind of an affront to what's happening domestically and internationally. And I really do just want to give him his flowers for doing that. So it's good to know where he stands.
Yeah, I also think about just how smart it is politically, considering, in New York City, at least, there was a little bit of a kerfluffle around the release of his tax return. He and his wife's tax return from this year. The income that I saw on there from the two of them, it made a lot of sense to me. She had a modest income from being an artist, and he had income from his job, obviously being a public servant last year, before he was married, became mayor on January 1st, but also had some income from royalties from his music, a couple dollars from his music. But that started this other sort of adjacent fashion conversation where people remembered a pair of boots that his wife, Rama Douaji, wore when he was being sworn in. These were $600 boots. Some people were like, well, how did she afford these $600 boots? Now, of course, it had already been reported by another journalist months ago that those boots were on loan. However, to your point, because there is such a focus right now, not just on affordability in New York City, but nationally in this country, we are in an affordability crisis, or at least many people feel that we are, even if some economists might not say the same thing. And I think that it probably was pretty smart to kind of sidestep that whole conversation by not wearing perhaps a custom or bespoke or loaned garment on a red carpet after spending so many months, really almost years at this point, talking about affordability.
And I think also taking a stand, the Met Gala, while it is a fundraiser and it does support, the Costume Institute and their funding, which is great. Mm-hmm. It helps one singular entity.
Absolutely.
Imagine if we were all putting our resources into collectively helping out and sharing and spreading the wealth. So it's almost like, I'm not going to go to that because why?
We are going to take a quick break, but I want you all to know that tomorrow we will be dropping a video episode recapping the best and worst looks from the Met Gala this year. I will be on vacation, but Marjon and Shelton will be back to review fashion's biggest night, so be sure to come back tomorrow. Coming up after the break, Marjon, Shelton, and I discuss the precarity of this year's theme and who we're excited to see on the red carpet.
This message comes from MET Health. CEO Joanna Strober shares why they started a virtual care platform for women in perimenopause and menopause.
Our goal at MET is to make sure that all women have access to really expert care, starting around 35 and 40, making sure that they get access to all the things that can help them thrive as they're growing older.
MET Health, committed to helping women in midlife with perimenopause and menopause care, accessible via telehealth visits at joinmidi.com. This message comes from Jerry. Many people are overpaying on car insurance. Why? Switching providers can be a pain. Jerry helps make the process painless. Jerry is the only app that compares rates from over 50 insurers in minutes and helps you switch fast with no spam calls or hidden fees. Drivers who save with Jerry could save over $1,300 a year. Before you renew your car insurance policy, download the Jerry app or head to jerry.ai/NPR. Support for NPR and the following message come from HomeServe. Owning a home is full of surprises, and when something breaks, it can feel like the whole day unravels. HomeServe is ready to help, bringing peace of mind to 4.5 million homeowners nationwide. Plans start at just $4.99 a month. Sign up today at homeserve.com. Not available everywhere. Most plans range between $4.99 to $11.99 a month your first year. Terms apply on covered repairs.
Well, I want to turn a little bit toward the theme. We haven't even talked about the theme yet. This year's theme is costume art, which it kind of seems though like it could be thematically maybe like a Nothing Burger beyond if you're a pop star or something like that. But the department's curator in charge, Andrew Bolton, went on to say that, quote, fashion, or what he calls the dress body, is the common thread connecting every other gallery in the museum. That includes, he says, the pregnant body, the corpulent body, the disabled body, and the naked and nude body. As interesting as this sounds, I have to say we are in a very strange moment culturally when it comes to the body. And fashion is not always known for its body diversity, especially not now. Do either of you think, I see you both shaking your heads and looking down kind of like, no. What do you think this means? And what do you think we'll see?
I agree with you. I think this is we're doing this all within the backdrop of the Ozempic era, which is obviously has been widely discussed in response to the pendulum swinging right wing and there just being this real drive to make everything clean, to make everything white, to make everything thin. And when you contextualize it like that, you're like, okay, what's actually being said? I think fashion is great at positioning itself, but not necessarily, changing systemically the issues that cause this type of conversation to begin with.
And to that point, Marjon, I think my cause for concern with this theme was it follows exactly a year after the Black theme. And now we're doing the body theme. We're doing all these performative things that this industry still hasn't really fully addressed. On the runways, there are no plus size models, really. We're still seeing a decline of support and infrastructure for Black designers. So 2 years in a row doing hyper specific themed things where the industry still hasn't addressed feels almost very performative, to be honest.
It's a gesture.
Not to name any specific names, but I think we've all seen over the past year, let's say, changes in how a lot of ladies in Hollywood look. The men too, but specifically there are big changes in how a lot of these women look that have many people very concerned. Like I said, not to name anybody specifically, but more so, I think that it has a lot of people wondering, it has me wondering, I guess, what does it mean to say, at least on paper, that you plan to bring a focus on all of these different kinds of bodies, right, with this exhibition in this moment where the body ideal is really changing in a way that a lot of people are concerned about, at least in fashion and in Hollywood. And, those are the kinds of models and performers that we're going to see on the red carpet.
Yeah, it seems forced. And I think, unfortunately, these conversations are so long overdue that it makes it so difficult for us to have them when we actually get the opportunity to celebrate the body, because in its many forms. And that should be a conversation we have all the time, but it just isn't. So it becomes, I hope it doesn't become a flop, but it does come off to others as cloying and inauthentic, and hopefully people get the message. But it is like a psyop. I mean, you're just like, what's... No, I mean, honestly, like you're saying, you're getting these GLP-1 ads everywhere, and there is such a huge pressure to be thin. It's a little terrifying, and I feel like also there should be a freedom to do what you want with your body. So it's like we can't underestimate that.
But yeah, when you have that like cultural imperative, it's like that's the tricky thing. Is we're always asking ourselves, like, do I want to do this because I want to do it? Or do it, or it might make my life better or easier. Do I want to do this because I feel like I should, or I know that it'll get me a lot of benefits that I'm not currently experiencing? It's like you're always asking yourselves, I think, where is the line? Where's the line?
Absolutely. Right now, people feel so politically and economically disenfranchised that so much of our power is in our bodies and and transforming our bodies. That's why looks maxing is taking off in such a huge way that people can do something about something. And so I think that's why there's such a huge concentration on the body right now, and being like, I can at least wield some control over that. But with that said, this excavation and the study of it, we'll have to see how it plays itself out. And maybe there'll be some form of protest in that.
We will see. But given everything we have discussed, what or who are you most excited to see on the red carpet tonight? What would be your dream look or scenario for tonight's Met Gala?
I am of the belief that I actually really love Beyonce at the Met Gala, because I think she's played so much with beauty in ways that like we don't really get to see her. Like that side Dijonais ponytail with like the Givenchy dress. It's iconic. I love that dress and that look.
I loved that.
I love that. And like we don't really, in the 10 years we haven't seen her, she's played so much more with fashion, like her costuming, Renaissance. Like I'm excited to see where she would take it now. And also I'm excited to see what her husband wears. Like, he's cosplaying as Basquiat. Fashion is art. He loves art. Hey. But I am excited to see Beyonce. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
She's been on a roll.
She had a killer season.
That was so exciting to see her go and work with Wayman and Micah and just develop this red carpet presence and just really all of her dreams to come true.
Google me, baby. Exactly.
I always selfishly love to see Rihanna. Seeing Rihanna always turn it out is one of my favorite things of all time.
Well, oh my gosh, Shelton, Marjon, I have so enjoyed this conversation, and we have had a real key today, and I am excited to see what happens at this Met Gala.
Yeah.
Let's bring it.
That was culture writer Shelton Boyd-Griffith and cultural critic and podcast host Marjon Carlos. And a reminder that they will be back tomorrow with a video episode to review the best and worst looks and moments from the 2026 Met Gala. You can check out that full video on the NPR app, Spotify, and YouTube. This episode of It's Been a Minute was produced by
Alexis Williams.
This episode was edited by
Nina Patak.
Our supervising producer is
Barton Girdwood.
Our VP of programming is
Yolanda Sanguini.
All right, that's all for this episode of It's Been a Minute from NPR. I'm Brittany Luce. Talk soon.
This message comes from Mint Mobile. If you're tired of spending hundreds on big wireless bills, bogus fees, and free perks, Mint Mobile might be right for you with plans starting from $15 a month. Shop plans today at mintmobile.com/switch. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5GB plan required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. This message comes from Jerry. Noticing your car insurance rate creep up even without tickets or claims? You're not alone. That's why there's Jerry. Jerry handles the legwork by comparing quotes side by side from over 50 top insurers, so you can confidently hit buy. No spam calls, no hidden fees. Jerry even tracks rates and alerts you when it's best to shop. Drivers who save with Jerry could save over $1,300 a year. Don't overpay. Download the Jerry app or visit jerry.ai/NPR today.
This message comes from Lisa. From night one, you'll feel the difference. Premium materials that deliver serious comfort and full body support. Go to lisa.com for 25% off mattresses, plus get an extra $50 off with promo code NPR.